For a long time, the people of Israel lived in the land of Egypt. They had once been welcomed guests, but now they were enslaved. The Egyptians made them do very hard work. The Israelites worked in the fields and built big buildings for the Egyptians. They were a very large group of people, and the king of Egypt, called Pharaoh, started to worry. He feared that if the Israelites grew even more numerous, they might become too powerful. So, Pharaoh made a harsh command. He told all his people, every newborn boy born to the Israelites must be thrown into the Nile River. This was a terrible order. The mothers and fathers of Israel were heartbroken. They tried their best to protect their babies from this cruel decree. The Nile River was a very important river in Egypt, flowing through the land and providing water. Among the Israelites was a woman named Jochebed. She and her husband had a baby boy. Jochebed was a loving mother, and she did not want her son to be thrown into the river. She hid him for 3 months. She kept him safe in her home, away from anyone who might harm him. But keeping a baby hidden for a long time became very difficult. As he grew, he cried, and it was harder to conceal him. Jochebed knew she could not hide him forever. She needed a plan to keep her precious son safe from Pharaoh's command. Jochebed took a basket made of reeds. She carefully waterproofed it with tar and pitch so it would float. She placed her baby boy inside the basket. Then, she carried the basket to the edge of the Nile River. She gently set the basket among the tall reeds that grew along the riverbank, hoping for a miracle. Jochebed asked her older daughter, Miriam, to stand watch nearby. Miriam watched from a distance to see what would happen to her baby brother. She stayed hidden among the reeds, her eyes fixed on the floating basket. Suddenly, Pharaoh's daughter, the princess of Egypt, came down to the river to bathe. Her servants walked along the riverbank. As the princess walked near the reeds, she saw the basket. She sent one of her servants to fetch it for her. The princess opened the basket, and there lay the baby boy, crying. She felt sorry for him. She knew he was one of the Israelite children. She decided she would not let him be harmed. She said, "This is one of the Hebrew children." The princess decided to keep the baby. She named him Moses. She knew he would need a mother to care for him. At that moment, Miriam, the baby's sister, came forward. The princess asked Miriam if she knew of any Israelite women who could nurse the baby for her. Miriam quickly replied that she did know such a woman. Miriam ran and brought her own mother, Jochebed. The princess told Jochebed, "Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So, Jochebed took her baby back home and nursed him. In this way, the child Moses was kept safe by his own mother. As Moses grew older, Jochebed eventually brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter. The princess adopted him as her own son. She raised him in the palace. Because she had found him by the river, she named him Moses. He was now safe and would grow up, unaware of the danger he had faced as an infant. Moses grew up in the care of Pharaoh's daughter. He lived in the palace and received an education. Even though he was raised as an Egyptian prince, he was still an Israelite by birth. God's protection had been active, preserving Moses for a future purpose. The story shows that even when things seem very dangerous, protection can come in quiet and unexpected ways. God watched over Moses, ensuring his safety and preparing him for a significant role in the future. The little baby, placed in a basket on the river, was kept safe through a series of events, leading him to a life that would change the course of history.